Hey guys, Mike here from Lunch Money Comics. Today I'm in Greenfield, Massachusetts at the Western Mass Comic Book Show. This show is practically in my backyard. Should be a good one. Can't wait to check it out. Hey guys, I'm here with Kit Henry of Amazing Comics, and he is the coordinator of the Western Mass Comic Book Show. How you doing, Kit?
Good, how are you, Michael?
Good. Hey, tell me about the show.
It's our 5th event here at Hawkesbury Performing Arts Center. We've got 2 floors of comic books and artists. Jim Lawson from Ninja Turtles is here, Michael Dooney, Marcus McLaurin, who edited Marvels for Marvel, and also Casey Collar, who works for IDW.
Good people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Like I said, it's practically in my backyard, so I'm pretty excited you can put a really high caliber comic book show in Western Massachusetts. It's pretty awesome.
Awesome.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming
All
out,
right.
Mike.
Good to see you. Yeah. All right. How you doing? Look who I spotted.
Hey, what's
There it
happening?
is. Comics Spot. How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
Good to
what
see
time
you.
did you get here?
Just now.
Oh, did you?
Yes. Hey, Josh. Hey, guys. I'm here with the legendary Jeff from Comic Spa. I've mentioned you a couple of times on my channel. Just a few times. What are you looking for today? Anything good?
Actually, anything that has anything to do with Dave Stevens, which I already picked up one already.
Nice. You gonna show everybody? Can you show the whole book? All right. It's kind
Show
of
you at least inside the
PG-13
plastic
at
there.
least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, this is passable.
yeah.
So, but I always loved his art. I thought I gotta see if I can at least find one. I'm always thinking about it, but I didn't pick one up. It's been a long time, so I got it off the shelf back in the day. Nice.
Pretty awesome stuff here. So this is my grail right there. X-Men 1 and 4 and the giant size X-Men. Jim Lawson here. How you doing? Nice to meet you. All right, so we did a little bit of a trade here. Someone spotted these on my channel, and I got some personal art, original art. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's beautiful. All right, the rest of the show is on the 4th floor. Yes. How's it going? Yes. Yes.
A little used.
A little used at a tape pull there. Yeah. You get the subscriber fold.
Thought it'd be cool to mix them all up, and now I can't find it.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty good price for that.
You don't have any General Grievous by any chance, do you?
There they are.
Great.
Look out.
Oh,
There he
hey.
is. Hey, Larry. How you doing? You Josh and Matt over there?
See some bigger vendors.
Sorry, guys.
I just bought a whole collection of Marvel Legends, and that was it.
Right.
Like, I'm saving that for Mike.
Nice. Here we go. Here's Josh and Matt. You guys did a free giveaway for mentioning Lunch Money Comics.
We did, Josh. What'd you give away? X-Men 97.
And this is the lucky first person here?
I can't remember. Actually, I bought 97.
Oh, you bought it?
I think I got 95. 95.
You got 95 for free? That's a pretty good deal. Thanks, guys. And Josh gave me this amazing Nightcrawler figure, so happy day for me.
Good stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty great shape for that, huh?
Not bad. I think like a 4.5.
4.5?
It started 5.0 on a really, really nice day, but I think it's probably a 4.5.
Yeah. That's a great comic, though.
I got this from.
It's not minty, but it's got only a couple of defects and things.
That's a good one I want. First Satana. That looks better than a 3.5 to me. right, let me in there. Thank you. Look at that. Definitely want that. Wow, thanks guys. Man, it's like Christmas for me today. Okay guys, that was the Western Mass Comic Book Show. That was unbelievable. I got one really great book, but a lot of my friends and colleagues, you know, and the whole comic community gave me some incredible stuff. I can't believe it. So let's go home and I'll show you guys what I found. So there you go, guys. That was the Western Massachusetts Comic Book Show in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Like I said in the footage, I live in Western Mass. This is practically my backyard, and I sort of consider this like my home comic book show. Now, people who watch my channel know that I like to promote local comic book stores as well as comic book shows, especially these smaller ones. I like to draw attention to them. You know, people might not know about them, try to get people through those doors and be aware of these wonderful events that get put on all the time. Well, I told the Western Mass Comic Book Show people that I would, you know, promote their show on my channel. I would go, I'd film a dedicated video. I also told another comic book show the same thing, CliffCon down in Connecticut, and as fate would have it, both of these shows happened on the exact same day. So that footage you just saw was the first comic book show of a very long day for me. I know New England isn't that big, but these two shows were not that close. So it was a real long day. And when I started the day, I thought I'd be making one video for both the shows, you know, 2 shows in one day. Well, once I started going to them, I realized I needed to give them both their just due. They both deserve their moment in the spotlight. And that's especially true of the Western Mass show because I've said it before on my channel, the best part about having a YouTube channel about comic books is not the comic books, it's the people. It's the wonderful people I've met in the comic community, all my commenters down in the videos I get to interact with, but also the people I've met in real life, including several of which I've become real life friends with. And a lot of those people are connected to this Western Mass Comic Book Show, from the coordinator to the sponsor to some of the vendors you saw in that footage. Wonderful people that have supported me and supported the channel since it began. And they did so many wonderful things for me. I really needed to call out some people a little bit more. First and foremost, I want to mention 3 of the vendors you saw there, Josh, Larry, and Matt. They did this really cool promotional thing without even asking me. They just said anyone who showed up to their booth and said Lunch Money Comics, they'd get free comic books. And they did that. People went up and mentioned LMC, and they got like some really great early Chris Claremont X-Men books. That was very cool of them to do. But the sponsor of this event is His and Her Comics in Greenfield, which is an amazing comic book store I talk about all the time on my channel. And it's literally a stone's throw from that amazing venue you saw the comic book show in. And I did go to the shop. You know, I have to go and check out the amazing comic books. They had some events going on with local comic book creators. And I had to say hi to the wonderful owner who I've become friends with. And I got to tell you guys, something amazing happened to me in this store, something I didn't show you guys footage of. It's a special story I want to share with all of you guys. So for all of those reasons, I really wanted to give this Western Mass Comic Book Show its own video. So consider this, I guess, part 1 of my 2 comic book show day. The other one will come out in a few days from now. Before I show you the amazing books I got and tell you these amazing stories, if you like this sort of stuff and want to support the channel, head on down, hit the like button, leave me a comment, feel free to subscribe, and of course, follow me on Instagram under Lunch Money Comics IG. So first, let me tell you guys the story of what happened at His and Her Comics. So you guys saw in the footage, I went in, I did a quick interview with the coordinator, Kit Henry of Amazing Comics. Great guy, by the way. And, you know, I basically did one loop of that first floor and I bumped into Jeff from Comic Spa. I mentioned Jeff from Comic Spa pretty much in every single video. He's the best cleaners and pressers that I know. I've done several videos on his amazing work, but he's one of these people I keep mentioning that I become real life friends with. So I did that quick little discussion you guys saw in the footage, and as soon as I stopped filming, he said, hey, before we walk around, I need you to come with me. We need to go down the street to His and Her Comics. Like I said, guys, it's like 300 feet away. And I was like, yeah, in a second. I just want to walk around. He's like, no, let's just go quick. And he was trying to like get me out of there. So he eventually dragged me out of this comic book show, 10 minutes after I first got there. Didn't think it was too unusual. I just thought he was trying to show me some like books he was thinking of cleaning up or whatever. So we walk in there and I am completely not expecting anything. And then I realized what this is. Jeff reached across the counter to the owner, Nishan, who hands him a book and he holds it up like this. And he says, Mike, for all of the, promotion you've done for, his business as well as the store, His and Her Comics, the owner and him got me something as a thank you. And I was not expecting anything. I was like, okay. And I'm filming this, right? I'm filming this at the time. And they wanted me to guess what book it was. The only clue Jeff gave me was it was a book I have history with. So I start naming like $10 and $20 books, guys. Like, I have no idea what this thing is. I'm naming like X-Men run fillers I don't have. No clue. So finally, Jeff hands me this book and tells me to flip it over. And let me show you how that went. So Jeff at Comic Spa and Nishan at His Inner Comics got me a thank you for all the support and advertising. I don't know what it is. No way. Come on, guys. No way. That's too much. That's way too much, guys.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No. Yeah. This wasn't a small $10, $20 book. They handed me an Avengers 8 from 1964 by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. First appearance of Kang the Conqueror. One of my favorite Marvel villains of all time, notwithstanding what's going on in the MCU and with the actor guys. He is top 3 Avengers, Fantastic Four villains in the Marvel Universe. I absolutely love him. And I was completely shocked. I was shocked. Like I said, I did not expect a big gesture. I thought it was like a little thing. So I was filming the whole time. But I'm not going to show you any of that footage for 2 reasons. One, it was personal, right? These were friends saying kind things to me. What they said was personal, and I don't need to share it with everybody. But the second reason is they said some really nice things about me, and it seems very self-important and self-serving to like put compliments on my own channel. I'm not going to do that at all, guys, for obvious reasons. All I can tell you guys is that this was shocking and one of the most special gestures anyone's made to me, certainly since my channel started, and maybe even ever. I was completely blown away. I was hit with the feels. I got a little emotional. I couldn't believe that they got me this book. Now, you heard me just say that Jeff said it was a book I have history with. Well, people who have been watching my channel since last fall may remember that I actually had at one point in time 2 copies of Avengers 8 at the same time. And I got them from those guys at the Western Mass Comic Book Show. I got the first one. It was a pretty poor condition. I had Jeff clean and press it. It cleaned up really nice. But I still wanted a better condition one, and I got another one a few weeks later. So I had 2 Avengers 8s at the same time, decided to trade the lower grade one away. I traded it for that first Vision back there, but I still had 1 copy. Well, then things happened. Things I don't really want to get into, but for reasons, I don't want to really disclose, I had to sell this book back to the original seller. And I was pretty bummed out about it. Here I am, a person who loves Kang the Conqueror. I never thought I'd even own one of these books. I had 2 of them and then back down to 0, all in a matter of weeks. And I never mentioned this book again on my channel, did I? I got this book and I had it on my shelf for a little while, and that was it. I never mentioned it again because I didn't want to get into the story, and it bummed me out. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Kang the Conqueror. I wanted to get another copy, but the movie was coming out. It went up in price again. So I said, you know what? I'm just not going to get this book. But Jeff remembered how much this book meant to me. He's a huge Avengers fan as well, and he always knows I've been pining for this book. So when he saw Nishan got this in, a big comic book lot, did a deal with him, to clean some books, whatever it was, they both agreed that they wanted me to have this. Like I said, guys, the best part about this channel are the people I've met along the way. Couple of class acts right there, Jeff and Nishan. I am blown away. This is a book I'm ecstatic to have in my collection again. It's one that's never going anywhere. This is staying in my PC forever, and I'll always think of both of you. And I'll tell you guys, there was that brief moment in time where I had one on the shelf behind me, and it's been missing ever since the last fall. Well, I put this on my shelf when I got home, and everything felt complete and right again. Blown away, guys. Blown away. Thank you guys so much for this. Not only these guys, but everyone who's been supportive of the channel and been supportive of me. It really is an amazing gesture. Thank you guys so much. First Kang, crazy. Oh, and while I was at His and Her Comics, they had a couple of local comic creators set up. And I got to meet them, have a great conversation with them, and I had to buy something. Always support your local comic creators, guys. What did I get? I got this. This is a series called Fun to Funky. It's by Steve Murphy and John Robnack. They're a couple New Englanders. The writer's from Massachusetts. The artist is from Vermont. And what is this series about? Well, I will let the writer tell you in his own words. What do you guys got here?
Okay, we do a mini comic, self-published, called Fun to Funky, and it's within a science fiction setting. It's about a guy who is grappling with all the issues one develops when one has a big comic book buying problem.
Oh,
okay,
so we can all relate to that.
Hopefully I'm capturing it.
That's right. It's a comic book series about being obsessed with buying comic books, which I thought was very apropos, considering I was going to 2 comic book shows in the same day. I haven't had a chance to dig into this yet, but it looks pretty awesome. I'll make sure to put a link down in the description to the information on this book. I think it's a topic that everyone watching this video can probably relate to, so maybe it's a series you'd be interested in checking out for yourselves. So as for the comic book show itself, I only ended up buying one comic book. Like I said, guys, I was in a rush. It was a long day. I had a lot of things to do. I was schmoozing way too much. But the book that I bought is a pretty big one. I also have a couple of freebies I'm going to show you afterwards. But for this book that I bought, I've been talking a lot on my channel about how I am really into Justice League Dark lately. I love the team. I've been collecting a lot of the first appearances of characters that are on that team. And I'm sort of down to like just the big three left, right? Swamp Thing. Obviously, I'm not getting that book anytime soon for any reasonable price. First, Zatanna, which you actually saw in that footage, and I almost got. And this book right here, I put some feelers out before the show that I was looking for this book, and my buddy Matt said that he had a copy, so I knew he had it there waiting for me, and it was this. Swamp Thing, number 37. This is the first full appearance of John Constantine, of course, written by Alan Moore from 1985. John Constantine is sort of the leader of the Justice League Dark team. He is this grumpy, acerbic magic user, always dealing with dark magic in the occult. And I think he is awesome. He is one of my favorite DC characters. So I've been looking for his first appearance for a long time. Matt had a price tag on this of $300 originally, and he sold it to me for the fantastic price of $200. And that's exactly what I had budgeted for getting this book. I had that money aside, and honestly, guys, this is a much better quality one than I thought I would get. This is a beautiful copy. There's almost no blemishes on it at all. Thank you, Matt, very much for giving me such a great deal on this. But Matt didn't stop there. He also threw this one in for free. This is Swamp Thing number 50, and this is considered by many to be the first full appearance of the Justice League Dark team. I've talked about this in the past. I recently got Swamp Thing 49, the sort of pseudo first cameo of the team. Officially, their first appearance was in the Justice League Dark series from 2011. That's when they're actually like kind of called Justice League Dark. But for all intents and purposes, guys, we go back to the 80s. This team right here looks just like the Justice League Dark team, and you can see them all on the cover. We got Swamp Thing, Deadman, Dr. Fate, Phantom Stranger, Etrigan, the Spectre. I mean, it's the Justice League Dark team, absolutely. So Matt threw this one in for free. He had a price tag of $40 on it originally. So Matt, once again, thank you so much for really ratcheting up my Justice League Dark collection up a notch. Pretty awesome. So I have a few more really cool things that I got at this show that I want to share with you guys. The first one I got from my buddy Josh. Josh is a huge friend of the channel. He recently donated an awesome book for the 5,000 subscriber giveaway. Not only does Josh deal with comics, he also deals in toys, and he recently got a really big lot of Marvel Legends action figures. Well, he was reselling all of them, but he put one of them aside to give to me because it's my favorite character. Here we go. We have an action figure of Nightcrawler. Really cool, high definition. Came with some accessories. We got a sword, and then a couple of different snap-on heads with different facial expressions. So that's pretty awesome. So Josh, thank you so much for this. Nightcrawler will have a prominent place on the shelf behind me, and thank you for being such a friend of the channel as well. So the last thing I got at this comic book show is absolutely awesome. So a few months ago, I did a video where I was going through an old collection of comics. And amongst all the ones that I showed, there were 2 Jerry Lewis comics and 1 Bob Hope comic. And at the time, I didn't think much about them at all. I just thought they were kind of quirky. And then after I was done filming, into the back issues of my collection, they went never to be seen or heard from again. Except one of my viewers emailed me afterwards saying that those books were historically significant. They knew a lot about the artists that did the books. And then the person who emailed me was actually local, and they'd be willing to trade for those books. They were very interested in them. And my response back to them was, oh, you're local? You can have them. I didn't care about these books whatsoever. I said, if I ever bump into you, they are yours. And they said, well, actually, I'm going to be set up at the Western Mass Comic Book Show. Bring them by them. Great, that works out. I did not put 2 and 2 together. I just thought this was another vendor. I did not place the name with the person until I went to the show and realized this wasn't a vendor. It was a comic book artist. It was Mr. Michael Dooney, who was an artist for Mirage Studios out here in Western Mass, the studio that did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the early 90s. I did not realize it. He was set up there. I gave him the books. He was very appreciative. And then he said, I actually have something for you. Because Mr. Michael Dooney actually watches my channel. Let's just stop for a second and realize how crazy it is that a comic book artist watches my channel. that was a gift in and of itself, but he actually had something for me. Because he watched my channel, he knows I'm into Justice League Dark and knows I'm into the Spectre. So he gave me this. He gave me some original art that he did of the Spectre, signed right here you see by Mr. Michael Dooney. How crazy cool is that? I got some original art of the Spectre from an actual comic book artist, well known from the area. Blows my mind, guys, that yeah, he gave this to me, and also that he watches the channel at all. How cool is that? Thank you very much, Mr. Dooney. I get to find an awesome place for this down here in the basement. So an amazing capstone to an already amazing day. And guys, the day was only half over for me. I had another comic book show to go to right after this, but that's in the next video. Right now, I want you to go down and comment on this video. Let me know what you think of the Western Mass Comic Book Show. Let me know which of my pickups you like the best. Was it this original art by Michael Dooney of the Spectre? Still blown away he watches my channel at all, by the way. Pretty awesome. Was it this first appearance of the Justice League Dark team? Was it this first appearance of John Constantine? Awesome book. Pretty stoked to have this in my collection. Or was it this amazing, amazing gift? First appearance of Kang the Conqueror. Guys, I've said it before, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I've met so many amazing people in this hobby, in the comic collecting community, in the YouTube community. I can't believe how much love and support I've received. And this just sort of encapsulates all of that. Blown away by it. I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to try to wrap this up quickly. Head on down to the comments and let me know which of these pickups you guys like the best. In the meantime, I hope you keep hunting for comic books in strange and unusual places. Make sure you support your local comic book shows, your local comic book stores, and of course, your local comic book artists. Thank you all so very much for all the support you give me, for all of the views, for all of the subscriptions. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you all so very, very much, and I'll see you next time.